Hello guys, my name is Nick and you are watching The Sports Entertainer. Make sure you have subscribed to our channel with post notifications turned on so that you never miss out on one of our daily WWE videos. Well guys, we are now only 2 weeks away from the greatest spectacle in sports entertainment, WrestleMania 35. But as we mentioned in one of our previous videos regarding some leaked plans that WWE may be moving ahead with after the Showcase of the Immortals, Vince is already planning well beyond WrestleMania. And not surprisingly, McMahon allegedly already has most of the storylines and scenarios mapped out for the rest of the spring months in WWE leading up to SummerSlam 2019. Since the release of our last rumors video the other week, our sources have provided us with 3 more big plans that WWE are contemplating moving ahead with throughout the remainder of 2019. And while a couple of them may be of interest to some of you, there's no doubt that not all of these rumored plans are going to end up pleasing fans, especially considering some of these leaks basically confirm that Vince is still very much unwilling to give underutilized superstars a chance to shine in those top spots on Raw and SmackDown Live. With that said, let's take an in-depth look at the following 3 leaked WWE plans we have been informed of that Vince is strongly considering moving ahead with over the course of 2019. Alright guys, the first possible plan we have been informed of is regarding Raw's Universal Championship scene after WrestleMania, and while we had reported previously that Brock Lesnar was strongly favored to end up retaining his Universal Championship at WrestleMania against Seth Rollins, we have now been informed that Lesnar could very well end up losing the championship to Seth at Mania, given Vince's rumored plans for Brock Lesnar after the Show of Shows. According to one of our sources, there's currently talks backstage in WWE of Vince drafting the Beast Incarnate over to SmackDown Live during the upcoming Superstar Shakeup, and the reasoning behind this possible decision is due to the WWE's television deal with Fox Sports, which is set to come into effect in October 2019. And as we stated before, Fox is demanding that the Blue brand becomes the WWE's flagship show, so having arguably the biggest part-time superstar on SmackDown is clearly one way in which Vince plans to appease Fox Sports. However, this also could very likely mean that the rumors of Roman Reigns joining SmackDown Live could end up getting nixed, and we have been told that the Usos could be joining Monday Night Raw to align themselves with Roman Reigns, who is reportedly going to be becoming less of a clean-cut babyface and more of a tweener-type character like before. With this news being said, we have been informed that Vince is not very keen on the idea of Brock Lesnar bringing the Universal Championship along with him to SmackDown Live, and thus forcing the WWE Champion to move to Raw, as he believes it simply wouldn't make sense, especially when you look at the color of the Universal title and how it matches the Raw brand. However, if Brock does in fact lose the Universal Championship at WrestleMania 35 to Seth Rollins, we certainly should not expect the match finish to be clean, and in all probability this most likely means that Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose will be booked towards the end of the match, helping Seth Rollins pick up the victory. With that being said, with the good, as in Seth Rollins finally dethroning Brock Lesnar for the Universal title, there's always the bad or the not so pleasing, and this is a reported plan Vince has in place for Brock Lesnar on SmackDown Live when and if he's drafted. As we had reported before, not surprisingly, Brock Lesnar will likely be taking an extended leave from the WWE following WrestleMania 35, but we have been told that Lesnar will be back fully in time for the WWE's second biggest pay-per-view event of the year, SummerSlam. And one rumored scenario our sources have indicated that has the potential of coming to fruition is Brock Lesnar receiving a WWE Championship opportunity at SummerSlam 2019, and it would most likely be against Kofi Kingston, who is rumored to be walking out of WrestleMania 35, as well as his first couple of feuds after Mania, the WWE Champion. Before the biggest party of this summer, some of the names WWE creative are allegedly considering for a potential filler feud with Kofi Kingston as we head into the pay-per-views leading up to SummerSlam, including Backlash, Money in the Bank, and Extreme Rules, are Samoa Joe, The Miz, and Aleister Black, who is rumored to be joining the Blue brand after WrestleMania and pushed very heavily right off the hop. As some of you may have picked up on, we have now been informed that the possibility of Big E and Xavier Woods turning on Kofi Kingston at WrestleMania 35 or after is getting slimmer and slimmer with each passing week, and if the WWE goes the route of having Kofi embark on a feud with Brock Lesnar this year, it's highly probable that Big E and Xavier Woods will remain on Kofi's side. However, the potential for a heel turn after Kofi Kingston most likely ends up losing the WWE title to Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam is now a plan we have been told that Vince Vince is somewhat keen on, as McMahon is very much behind the idea of Big E becoming a top heel. So the bottom line is at this point, Brock Lesnar could very well be walking out of SummerSlam 2019 the new WWE champion, and this decision is again mainly due to the WWE's impending deal with Fox Sports. The next possible scenario we have been informed of that Vince McMahon and WWE creative are considering post WrestleMania 35 is regarding Asuka and the SmackDown Women's Championship. To give some backstory, as the WWE had announced the other day, on next week's episode of SmackDown Live, we'll be witnessing a fatal four-way match between Carmella, Naomi, Mandy Rose, and Sonya Deville to determine Asuka's WrestleMania 35 challenger for the SmackDown Women's Championship. And while the WWE may decide to have Asuka's women's title match be a singles bout, we have been informed that there's a very good possibility that the SmackDown Women's Championship match at WrestleMania 35 will end up being a multi-woman match, potentially a fatal five-way with the four women mentioned above. Vince apparently feels as though Asuka needs a strong showing at WrestleMania this year after her loss against Charlotte last year, and coming out on top against four challengers is reportedly being discussed backstage in WWE as a viable option to help rebuild Asuka's damaged credibility. As far as the rumored scenario after WrestleMania for Asuka, we have been told that Vince is strongly considering having Asuka work a SummerSlam storyline with Ronda Rousey, who is rumored to be joining the Blue brand in 2019 as per the WWE SmackDown TV partner Fox Sports' request, as Fox believes having Ronda Rousey on the show, a woman with lots of athletic credibility, will help promote the show. Much like Brock Lesnar, Ronda Rousey is apparently going to be taking some time off after WrestleMania, but Vince has very high hopes that Ronda Rousey will be back in time to work a program with Asuka, in which Ronda would most likely defeat Asuka at SummerSlam 2019 to become the new SmackDown Women's Champion as we head into the fall months when the Fox Sports deal comes into effect. Alright guys, our final bit of information is in regards to the rumored plans for Becky Lynch after WrestleMania, and without question, the reported leaked scenario Vince is considering to move ahead with when it comes to Becky Lynch may or may not be the most satisfying for fans. According to one of our sources, Becky Lynch is not surprisingly going to be walking out of WrestleMania 35 the new Raw Women's Champion, and the reasoning stems from Vince wanting to continue on with Becky Lynch's storyline. Ronda Rousey's also going to be taking some time off from the ring after WrestleMania, but also due to Ronda's rumored draft to SmackDown Live during the upcoming Superstar Shakeup. Although Becky Lynch has essentially surpassed the odds that were stacked against her on the road to WrestleMania to receive the Raw Women's title match she had already earned following the Royal Rumble win, we have been told that Stephanie McMahon, arguably Becky Lynch's biggest roadblock not named Vince, will not be sitting idly by as Becky Lynch rises to the top of Monday Night Raw. As of right now, the reported scenario Vince is leaning towards for SummerSlam is to have Becky Lynch end up defending her Raw Women's Championship against Stephanie McMahon, after Becky had successfully retained her title at the three smaller pay-per-views leading up to SummerSlam against challengers such as Charlotte Flair and Lacey Evans. One of our sources is even mentioning that Stephanie McMahon could end up winning the 2019 Women's Money in the Bank ladder match, and Stephanie would then recruit the likes of Charlotte Flair to help her secure the win over Becky Lynch at SummerSlam. However, Vince may decide to give the Women's Money in the Bank briefcase to another female superstar, and at this point in time, the two strong favorites are either Mandy Rose or Lacey Evans. Let us know down in the comment section below who you would like to see win not only the 2019 Women's Money in the Bank match, but also the men's match as well. With that being said, it had been reported late last year that the WWE were planning for a Becky Lynch versus Stephanie McMahon rivalry in 2019, and as unsatisfying as it may sound or seem to some fans, Stephanie McMahon could very well be walking out of SummerSlam the new Raw Women's Champion. However, we should note that Becky Lynch would eventually likely overcome Stephanie McMahon to regain her title, but regardless, it will be very interesting to see how fans react to Stephanie McMahon vying for and quite possibly winning the Raw Women's Championship in 2019. Well guys, what do you think about these three big rumored scenarios and leaked WWE plans that Vince could very well move ahead with after WrestleMania 35 as we get ready for SummerSlam season? Are these scenarios you would be interested in seeing play out on Monday Night Raw and SmackDown Live over the next few months? Or are there better storylines and rivalries you believe the WWE should consider instead leading up to SummerSlam, such as the WWE giving some new stars a chance to shine? Lastly, if you had to choose between the two, who would you rather see join the SmackDown roster from Raw during the upcoming Superstar Shakeup, Roman Reigns or Brock Lesnar? Make sure you sound off in the comment section down below and give us your thoughts and opinions on the matter. Thanks for watching The Sports Entertainer. Make sure you leave a like and comment, and also be sure that you hit that subscribe button for all of our daily WWE videos.